So we're starting in this cross-legged position here. Crossing your legs any way you like. Making sure that your knees are either the same height as your hips or maybe even a little bit lower. So really use those cushions if you need, and then just start to close your eyes down to begin. Hands are either lightly into your lap or maybe onto the knees. And just soften your breath. Allowing your breath to just move naturally through the body. Every inhale, you expand your belly and you bring your breath all the way up towards your chest and your collarbones. And with an exhale, everything softens. And your shoulders roll a bit further down the back of your spine. Inhale, full expansion. And exhale, roll it back down. And you're totally free to let your exhales be a nice and deep sigh out through your mouth. That really helps to find that grounding and that softness, that sensation of letting go. Just take a few more of those, your own pace. And with every exhale, just noticing how your body is softening. Relaxing your ankles, your feet, your legs. Your hips are soft, your sitting bones grounding down into your mat or cushion. Your spine is long. You pull your navel gently in towards it. Your heart is lifted. Your shoulders are soft, away from your ears. And become aware of your face. Eyes soft in their sockets. Jaws not clenching. Your ears and cheekbones relaxed. And then allowing all the air to get out of your lungs. Press it out just gently. And then we take a deep breath in together for 1, 2, 3, 4, and an exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it at the top this time for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it at the bottom for 2, 3, 4. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it 1, 2, 3, 4. And keep going with that pace, that round. 2 more full rounds, your own rhythm. Trying to keep your body soft and relaxed. And maybe even lengthen your breath. And when you're at the end, take your time to finish. But when you do, you just come back to a normal breath, nice and soft, and notice those little differences, those little sensations, that tickly feeling on your arms after just a little bit of breath work. And today, we'll be working on one of the things that probably keeps most of us some sort of occupied these days, and that's change. 2020 has been a weird year with lots of change and unexpected happenings. So if you think about all of that and all the things that you had planned and went differently, and all the things that you wanted to stay the same that changed anyways, can you come up with one particular thing this year? A big change that you had to deal with, or something you didn't want to deal with but had to do anyways. How does that feel in your physical body? Do you feel a tightness somewhere coming up whenever you envision that situation again? Maybe in your chest or your stomach, shoulders and neck. How does it feel? Is there a particular emotion that comes up with it? And it can be good or bad, by the way. And just being aware of the sensations and energies that go around with that feeling for you. And today, with every pose, I'm going to try to let go of that a little bit. Letting go of that clenched feeling, or whatever else it is that comes up for you. Accepting that change is the only constant in our lives. We can try to fight it, or we can just go with the flow. So feel free in our last moment here to set a little intention around that for your practice today. And then give yourself a fullest, deepest breath in, expanding your chest. And a deep sigh out through your mouth. Opening up your eyes gently, coming back here. And then if you want, you can take away the cushion or a block from underneath, but keep it close to you. And you're going to extend your right leg out. You're going to keep the left knee bent. Sitting yourself a tiny bit further forwards. Keeping your legs nice and soft. And feel free, if it's difficult for you to get that leg straight, to bend it a little bit and draw the pillow underneath. Then taking both thumbs up, deep breath in, inhale. Lengthening. With your exhale, stay here for a moment. Roll your shoulders back and down the spine. One more inhale, lengthen. Now with your exhale, draw the right elbow on the inside of your right knee. And then see if you can open your heart and your chest up to sky. And lean over with the left arm. Let's see if you can get that left arm overhead instead of in front of the face. Really lifting the chest. And then softening again through the eyes. And feel free, if you want to support your head a little bit, to actually take that hand just underneath. We want to really sink into the whole left side of the body. Breathe into the space in between your ribs. And see if you can still allow your belly and your chest to expand with every breath in. And every exhale, that upper hand goes a little bit closer towards the toes. Try not to push it. Just every time creating more space. So there's no need to keep this a static pose. You can move with your breath. Inhale, you may rise and open a bit more. Exhale, go deeper. Find a flow in it. Even though those movements are minor. I'm starting to observe those tingly sensations in the side body, in the arm. One last breath. And with your exhale, very slowly, come all the way back down. And now roll your shoulders up to your ears. Inhale. Exhale, back and down the spine. One more time. Deep breath in. Exhale. Then extend your left leg out as well. Both legs. Open them as wide as possible. Keep your feet soft. Let them flop in and out however they want to. And then again, bring the hands behind your back. Lift your hips up 1 second and just sit yourself a tiny bit further forwards. So you start to feel a good stretch here on your inner thighs. Feel free to use cushions underneath your hips if you want. And here again, using your breath. Inhale, rise. With an exhale, you're going to lean and reach forwards just a little bit. Stay there, let's say 75 degrees. And inhale, lengthen again. Exhale, come to 45. Keep lengthening as if someone's pulling your fingertips. Inhale. Exhale to 25. One last one, inhale. And now you can reach all the way down towards the earth. Allowing your spine to round. And feel free to take cushions underneath your belly if that feels good. Underneath your head, maybe a block to support the forehead. Going deep into those inner thighs. And give your head a good shake, letting go in the back of the neck. Elbows are soft. Your fingertips are touching the floor, but no need to press the palms down. And just observe here what's happening in your legs, your hips, your lower back. Where can you let it go? So wherever that feeling of discomfort with change was residing for you in your physical body, bring your awareness to that place. And allow your breath to slowly soften that area. And keep your breath soft and easy. Very consciously using every exhale as an opportunity to relax deeper into this pose. And just noticing how very slowly your elbows are coming a tiny bit deeper towards your mat or away from you. Knowing that there's a deep connection between your body and your mind. So our thoughts, whatever we think, somehow manifests into our physical bodies, into the fascia, that connective tissue between our bones and muscles and ligaments. All these millions of neural pathways that connect that fascia with the cells in your brain. So whenever we work on physically letting go stuff in a pose like this, it will support us as well in letting go into the mind. And the same counts the other way around. So you may even visualize whatever you need to let go as something physical in your body. And with every exhale, it lets go a bit more. It becomes smaller and starts to leave your body. And it's always that moment when you feel like you want to come out, when it starts to get slightly uncomfortable. That's the moment when the magic happens. So give yourself permission to stay just a few breaths longer there. You may walk your hands out a little further for the last few breaths. Soft breath. Full belly expansion. One more deep breath in. And with an exhale, just gently lift your head up. Start to press through the hands and walk the hands back towards the body. If you want, brief moment to just lift your knees up and draw the legs back in together. Just give yourself a little hug and observe the sensations into your legs here. Where do you feel it? You feel that explosion of energy somehow now, suddenly going through. The last breath in. And then we'll take that first pose to the other side. So extending your left leg out, draw the right knee in. Soft legs. Inhale, rising both arms up. With an exhale, left elbow inside of left knee. Try to really draw the heart open and lean over, lean into it. Feel free to bring the hand underneath your head for support. And be really aware of that side body. Every exhale, leaning into it. Noticing the space being created in between your ribs. And keep your breath deep. You may close your eyes again. Yin is a practice that really asks for tuning in, for feeling into the inside, not the outside of the body. And closing the eyes helps to tune in better. And feel free to find that kind of flow movement again. Expanding, lengthening on your inhales, exhales to go deeper. Doesn't have to look pretty. Just find the space in the direction that feels good for you. One more deep breath in. And with your exhale, slowly rise back up. And extending both of your legs out in front of you. Lean back and just shake the legs out for a little moment here. And then slow as you can go, start to roll back down onto your backs. I'm taking a little rebound here, a mini shavasana in between. Allow your heels to be soft into the mat. your hips to get heavy. Belly to be relaxed. Fingertips to curl up and your jaw to be soft. Just giving yourself a moment here to check in. How does my body feel? What's happening? And yin is about picking up just the tiniest of sensations. It's never something really major. It's just energy moving around. So where do you feel it? And then you lift your right knee off the mat and draw it in towards your chest. Wrap your hands around it for a moment. And just find your spot here where you feel the hip opening. So you may draw the knee a little bit to the outside here towards the armpit, or you may draw it straight in or towards the heart center. It's up to you. Find the space where you feel like, oh, my hip is really nicely opening up here. And just a gentle pull with the hands just to give you that extra little bit. Deep belly breath. And with an exhale, pull in a little tighter even. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale, pull in tighter. And then you allow that knee to cross over the body and drop over to your left side, finding a twist. Extending your right arm all the way open to the right. And feel free to draw a cushion underneath the right knee. If the knee doesn't come down into the earth, you probably want to support it with something. Bringing your gaze over to your right hand. And then again, soften. You're always free to wiggle around a little bit in the beginning until you find the spot that feels best for you. And then you find stillness. It's only in that stillness where we can really let it go. So if we keep wiggling around, we'll never find that point of true release. And be conscious of where you're tightening up again in the body here. And in which area you can let go just a little bit more. There's no need to hold on to anything. There's nowhere you have to go. Nothing you have to do. You just have to be here and get softer and softer. Staying connected with your breath. Whenever you exhale, just noticing how gravity is very gently pulling you into two opposite directions. Taking a final breath in. And with your exhale, you slowly roll back onto your backs. Extend the right leg out again. And take a moment again of stillness here. Just that mini Shavasana in between. Maybe observing a difference between left and right. And whenever you're ready, we're going to the other side. So draw your left knee into chest. Hug it in. And find your sweet spot here for the hip. A deep breath in through the belly. And an exhale to tighten the knee a little closer in towards the chest. One more like that. And then just slowly cross the knee, guide it over to the other side. And find your twist again. This time you open your left arm out towards the left. Use a cushion underneath the knee for support if you need it. Wiggle around as long as you need, but then suddenly you find that point and settle into your stillness. Letting your exhales be deep and cleansing. Cutting all the heavy stuff out. And for your last 2 breaths, allow your body to be even more relaxed. Where's that last little bit that you can let go? And when you finish that last breath, slowly come back to center. Roll back and find your in-between Shavasana. Just 2 breaths or so. Maybe a deep sigh. So let your body go fully and observe. And our next pose is happy baby. So drop both knees into chest here. Bring the feet up to sky. Hands wrap either around the feet. It's a little bit too far. You can also grab the shins or the backs of your thighs, whatever feels best. You at least want to bring the knees out to your sides, nice and wide. So you start to feel a good stretch into your inner thighs and your hips. And trying to keep your shoulders soft down towards the earth. Your head is down. And allow your tailbone to draw down as well towards your mat. Tailbone is not coming too far off. Keep your eyes closed. Your breath deep down through your belly. And be mindful here where you're clenching again. Where are you keeping it tight? Last breath in. And with an exhale, slowly bring the knees back in towards your heart. And then start to rock up a few times, backwards, forwards, rolling over your spine until you can sit yourself up all the way straight into a cross-legged position. And from there, you directly bring your hands in front of you, roll over your knees, come into tabletop. In tabletop, spread your fingers nice and wide, tuck your toes under, and just start to roll through a very soft cat and cow. Inhales to arch the back, lift the heart forwards, look up. Exhale to round the spine, pull the belly in softly, chin to chest. Eyes closed again. Give yourself the permission to go inwards. Find the pace with your own breath. And feel free to go in any other direction. If your body's asking for circles or H shapes or your hips backwards, forwards, whatever it is, tune in. Find the shapes that you're looking for. Allow the movement to loosen things up and to maybe let them go too. We're slowly creating space in the body. Letting go of that need to control everything, to have a plan for everything. So allow your body now to flow, just as you would like yourself to flow through those life experiences too. One more deep breath in. And with an exhale, your toes tucked. Just shoot your hips up high for a quick down dog here. And just keep that flow going. So you may want to bend your knees a few times, lifting heels. Feel free to bring in whatever else you want. Maybe hips side to side. Maybe you even come into a plank, wobbling forwards. And then backwards again into down dog, whatever feels good for you. Just connecting or reconnecting with yourself, your body. Giving it whatever it's asking for right now. And coming back into down dog at some point. And from there, you just step your right foot forwards in between your hands. Dropping your back knee down. And feel free to prop your knee up with something, either double your mat or take a cushion if it's a little bit uncomfortable for the knee. And then you have a few options. You can either stay just like this, allowing your hips to melt nicely forwards and down, or you may bring your hands onto your upper thigh. Your knee is stacked on top of the ankle. And we're really trying to let the hips melt. So you feel a good stretch into the left hip flexor, into the right hip. Just making sure there's no push or pressure here. It's just allowing gravity to melt you down. And then close your eyes here if you can, keeping the balance. And staying focused on what's happening in that hip area. Every exhale, again, an opportunity to let go. So use the breath really for that. Relax your shoulders, your face, and your jaw. And then we're just going to use the breath a few times. So open your eyes here for a moment. Take an inhale and just come back a little bit. Exhale to melt a little bit deeper. A few times like that. Inhale. Exhale. Go deeper every time. Inhale. Exhale. One last time. Inhale. And with your exhale, stay. 2 more breaths here. Let it go. And then you gently let your hands down to the mat. You start to heel toe your right foot over to your left, making yourself ready for sleeping swan. So the shin comes down. The right knee is in front of your right wrist. The right ankle kind of in front of the left wrist. Walk your back foot out. And you start to melt into your hips here. Feel free to take cushions underneath your right hip if you want. And then you have options. You can stay right where you are like this, or you start to come onto your full arms. Or you come all the way down onto your chest or your forehead. Really allowing the whole body to relax. Find your options, settle in, make sure you're comfortable and supported. And then stay and sink deeper. And trying not to resist whatever comes up here. As women, we hold a lot of our tension and emotions into that hip space. But that's then also the place to let it go. All those thoughts, those patterns have somehow manifested into that hip space. So can you mindfully, consciously bring your awareness into the hips and bit by bit, just let them go. Allow them to get softer and be present with whatever feeling physically or emotionally arises. taking a last deep breath in. And with an exhale, you slowly press yourself back up into your hands. Tucking your back toe under. Take the cushions out of the way if you had any. Then lifting the back knee and slowly, gently stepping back for downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal it out a little bit. And whenever you are ready, you just take the left foot forwards in between the hands. Finding that dragon pose here on the other side. Drop your back knee down. Pet it up if it needs to. And then keep your hands down or onto your thighs, up to you. Finding that kind of melting sensation again, forwards and down. Rolling shoulders soft, back and down your spine. Making sure knee is stacked on top of ankle. And then close your eyes if you can. I know that may be a little tough for your balance, but that's why keeping the back toe tucked helps a little bit. If you focus on both of your big toes, pressing both of your big toes into the mat should help you with that balance. And then with your whole upper body soft and relaxed, you allow your hips to melt deeper. And even though the people around you would never be able to see it, you find these tiny movements, inhales to come back up a little higher, exhales to melt. Using your breath. Noticing the difference between these two sides. Funny enough, I find it a lot more difficult to keep my balance with my eyes closed on this side than on the other side. And then everyone open your eyes again. We're going to move with our breath a bit more consciously. Take an inhale to bring the hips back. Exhale to melt even deeper forwards and down. Find that space. Inhale. Exhale. Your back knee stays down. Inhale. Just the hips back up. Exhale. One last one. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more breaths here. Give it that last extra bit. And then bring your hands down to your mat. Heel toe, left foot over to the right. Drop the shin. And then keeping the hips squared here. There's probably a little bit of space in between your hip and the floor. And then walking the back foot out. Finding your variation. Feel free to use cushions here or underneath your chest or your heart. Just this support can actually be really comforting to have a cushion right underneath your belly and just hug it in a little bit. Finding the sweet spot into that hip area and finding a place where you know you can be for a while. There's no point in going too far straight away, so find a good spot, because we'll be here for quite a few minutes, as you know now. Allow your belly to expand with your breaths in. And your body to let go more with your breaths out. Using the breath really as a tool to go deeper. 2 more breaths. And just notice where you can let go into it even deeper. And at your own pace and time, slowly start to lift your head, come back up onto your hands if you were down all the way. Tucking the back toe under and just taking one more time your down dog, if you feel like it, just to walk it out a little bit. And give those hips some space. Stretching it out. And then when you're ready, bring your knees out to the outer edges of your mat. Allow your big toes to come together, sinking the hips down into child's pose. And you probably want to grab a cushion here underneath your belly, or maybe even underneath the hips if it goes too deep into your hips. It's really comfortable to keep the belly supported here. And then drop your forehead down. Arms can be either extended forwards or to the back. It's up to you, whatever you prefer most. Allow your hips to sink down. Your whole upper body is soft. Shoulders and neck relaxed. Elbows are down onto the mat. And your fingertips are gently touching. And just coming back here for a moment to that feeling. Where in your physical body does the discomfort with change reside? Can you soften that area over and over again? And can you just be present with that feeling? There's no need to push it away hard. Just accepting it for what it is. And slowly just finding a way to deal with change in your own way. We can try to avoid it, and we will be able to do that to a certain extent, but there are too many things that we can't control and never will be able to. The yin is a beautiful practice to find a bit more resilience for the stress as a result of all that change that we can't control. 2 more breaths here. And then slowly lift your forehead off the mat. Press into the palms. Walk the hands gently back towards your body. And lift the hips, knees together. And then sink down on one side. Doesn't matter. Swing the legs forwards. Walk the feet towards the lowest on top of your mat already. And taking the fleshy bits away from underneath your sitting bones. One more pose here. Keeping the legs soft and relaxed, feet soft. And take an inhale to bring the arms up high again. With an exhale, that same kind of flow, 75 degrees first. Inhale, lengthen again, reach. Exhale, 45. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, 25. Last one breath in. And then fully let it go. Finding that grounding here, the deep connection. Feel your belly. Expand against your thighs when you breathe in. Let it be nice and round. And finding some softness here. Again, shake your head a little bit, keeping the back of the neck soft. Can you fully let go into this one? Shoulders relaxed, elbows relaxed. Reconnecting with yourself. Knowing that you have everything it takes to be flexible, resilient, and creative with whatever life throws at you. Seeing the fun in change, the challenge, knowing that it's that exact place where we grow and learn and become better humans. We need that challenge every now and then. We need change to break old patterns and to learn something new about ourselves. Five more breaths in silence. Let it go. And then very slowly lift your head up. Start to rise up all the way. Take your time. And with soft eyes, you'll sit straight away, roll all the way down on your back, finding yourself into your final Shavasana. Take maybe any cushion underneath the knees for support. For future, cover yourself with a blanket or anything else warm. Give your body space. Nice and wide. Arms out, nice and wide. Great. Get the breath in through the nose. I once heard someone say, if you don't change, you do not grow. But I waved the thought away, for who were they to think they know? I'd always stayed the same, a heart that thrived within the cold, and I had no desire to change. At least that's what I had been told. But deep within my mind, a thought grew slowly, bit by bit, until I felt trapped in my skin, for it no longer seemed to fit. There's a whole world sitting out there, changing every single day. That proves it's nothing to be scared of if you do it the right way. For a day afraid to turn to night will miss the silver moon, and a flower that refuses change will never get to bloom. I had thought I was a thorn bush, only good for snagging clothes. But if you do not dare to change, you'll never find out that you're a rose. Just placing your left hand onto your heart space and your right hand onto your belly. Take a deep breath into your palms. Letting yourself know that it's okay to change. That it's okay to let go of control, to flow, to detach from the outcome, and to see wherever life takes you. You can handle it. And you grow from it. You'll learn things about yourself that you never knew before. And slowly, maybe stretching yourself out or making any other movements. At some point, rolling over to your right side. Taking a last moment there. And in your own pace and time, you're going to make your way up with your eyes closed if possible to a seated cross-legged position. Bring your hands into your heart space into prayer. Deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through your mouth. One more time like that. Let it go. And bowing your forehead down towards your fingers. Saying gratitude for coming on to the mat today. To take time out for yourself. To breathe and to move and to connect. The love and the light in me honors the love and the light in you. Namaste.